As tech companies continue to release new products, so does their competition. So how can you decide which product to choose? That's when it's time for a tech battle. This time we have the smartphone showdown between the iPhone XS Max and the OnePlus 6T. One costs well over $1,000 and the other costs, well, about half of that. But let's take a look and see which smartphone takes this win in this battle. We're going to look at 5 categories total: design, display, camera, performance, and value. Each phone will get rated 1 through 10 on each category, and at the end, we'll average out the scores and see which smartphone takes the W. Let's get started. Round 1 is design. Both phones are 2 glass panels sandwiched between a metal frame. Both designs are beautiful and very similar. The iPhone does offer better materials because it does come with a stainless steel frame. But I can't help but love that the camera sensor on the OnePlus 6T is centered, as opposed to the iPhone having it in the upper left corner of the phone. OnePlus 6T's camera placement just makes everything look more symmetrical. Also, the slight curve at the edges of the OnePlus 6T's back glass panel makes it much easier to hold than the iPhone XS Max with its flat glass panel. When you look at the front of the devices, you can't help but notice an interesting difference. If you hate notches, then you're probably going to prefer the OnePlus 6T. The teardrop notch it comes with is an interesting and welcome change to the large notches we see with other phones, and it just looks much better than the iPhone's larger notch. For this round, we're giving the OnePlus 6T a 9 and the iPhone XS Max an 8. Round 2 is display. The OnePlus 6T comes with a 6.41-inch 1080p optic AMOLED display, and even though the display is still only 1080p, it's probably one of the best 1080p displays out there. The image is crisp and the colors are bright, but not oversaturated like some other displays. The display doesn't get very bright, and I have some issues in direct sunlight outdoors. Other than that, it's a good, solid display, but not the best out there. The iPhone XS Max comes with in Apple fashion, a 2688 by 1242 6.5-inch Super Retina OLED display. And even though the iPhone XS Max has 458 pixels per inch compared to the OnePlus 6T's 402 pixels per inch, I couldn't really tell the difference in display resolutions. The iPhone's display is also crisp, colors pop without being oversaturated, but the brightness of the display is much better than the OnePlus 6T's. You will have no problem viewing the phone outdoors, and the viewing angles are much better than the OnePlus 6's. For this round, we're giving the OnePlus 6T a 7 and the iPhone XS Max an 8. Round 3 is camera. Both phones have amazing cameras, and this might even come down to preference. The iPhone XS Max has a dual camera setup. It has 2 12-megapixel cameras out back. One of them is a wide-angle lens and the other is a telephoto lens. And it also has a true depth 7-megapixel sensor out front. Pictures come out a little warmer for my taste, and image detail is a little lacking at times, but portrait mode has gotten better this year with a new depth control, which allows you to control the background blur. The OnePlus 6T also has a dual camera setup with a 16-megapixel and a 20-megapixel sensor out back. The selfie camera is a 16-megapixel Sony sensor. Pictures come out less warm than the iPhones and have a good amount of detail to them. Night mode on the OnePlus makes night shots come out with much more detail, and it's an all-around good and reliable camera. For pictures, I actually prefer the OnePlus 6T's over the iPhone XS Max's camera. When it comes to video, it's a different story. iPhone is tough to beat when it comes to recording video. Videos come out stable due to the OIS on both the cameras that the iPhone has out back. And the audio recording that the iPhone's video recording has is much better than the OnePlus 6T's. OnePlus has improved their camera over the years, and the iPhone continues to deliver a solid performing camera. For this round, we're giving the OnePlus 6T an 8 and the iPhone XS Max an 8 as well. Round 4 is performance. Based on the Geekbench 4 results, it's not much of a contest. The iPhone absolutely obliterates the OnePlus 6T and pretty much any other phone for that matter. The iPhone has a new Apple A12 Bionic chip, which is blazing fast compared to the Snapdragon 845 the OnePlus has. But that doesn't tell the whole story. Day-to-day use, the OnePlus 6T is plenty fast. I haven't experienced any lag issues, and Oxygen OS is quick and solid. Apps open up quickly on the OnePlus 6T. Battery life for the OnePlus 6T has also been pretty solid, getting me through a full day with moderate use. But the iPhone still comes out on top when it comes to battery life. I consistently have more battery life at the end of the day with the iPhone XS Max than I do with the OnePlus 6T. The iPhone's Face ID is also far superior than the OnePlus 6T's face recognition it comes with. And even though the OnePlus comes with an in-screen fingerprint sensor, the iPhone's Face ID is so good, in my opinion, that there is really no need for a fingerprint sensor. All in all, the iPhone cannot be beat when it comes to performance. And for this round, it gets a 10, and the OnePlus 6T gets an 8. The final round is value. If you thought that in the last round the iPhone completely dominated, then you're going to think the opposite for this round. The iPhone XS Max starts at $1,099. The OnePlus 6T starts at $549. You can literally buy two OnePlus 6Ts for the price of one iPhone XS Max. That's just crazy. The OnePlus 6T also comes with dash charging out of the box, 128 gigabytes of storage for the base model as opposed to the 64 gigabytes the iPhone XS Max starts with. The iPhone XS Max does come with a few things that the OnePlus is lacking, for example, wireless charging. OnePlus still hasn't added that to their phones, and it may be due to keeping the price as low as possible. The iPhone also comes with dual speakers, which are much better than the single speaker the OnePlus 6T comes with. Even though the OnePlus 6T is missing a few things, you really can't compete with the value of the OnePlus 6T. And for this round, the OnePlus 6T gets a 10 and the iPhone XS Max gets a 7. So after battling it out for 5 rounds, let's average out the scores and see who takes the W. And the winner is the OnePlus 6T. The OnePlus 6T averaged a score of 8.4 while the iPhone XS Max had an average score of 8.2. It was very close. But with the value that the OnePlus 6T provides, especially compared to the iPhone, that put it over the top. Both are great phones, and purchasing either one may come down to your OS preference. When it comes down to it, you'll be happy purchasing either one. Let me know if you agree with the results. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech videos.